All right, good morning, everyone. Tim Davis coming to you guys with another market review. Today is early Monday morning, June 10th, 2024. Again, going to start out by taking a look at the SPXA 200R. Now, I went over this last week and told you guys how this particular tool pretty much just tracks the overall movement um, of the stocks in the S&P 500 that are trading above that 200-day moving average. And wherever this goes, the market shall follow. So looking at the SPXA 200R, it shows that the percentage of stocks now trading above their 200-day moving average is at 66.8, and we're going to probably see that continue to deteriorate. Last week, I think when I did this video, we were at 0.70%. Now we have 0.66, so we are still trending lower here. So that means the overall market is going to also continue to trend lower for now. And as I showed you guys this breakdown here, as we saw a pretty much a pivot point at this level here, probably I guess about sometime in April. This is a weekly chart we're looking at, and as you can see, we have pretty much a lower high. This higher, much lower than this one. So we're trending down, and we are now approaching a moving average. This is my 50-day moving average. Like we are possibly going to continue to break down at this point. Look below, TTM squeeze, starting to show some weakness. And if you look at the RSI, still trending down. So I do expect for the breadth of the market to continue to deteriorate and get much weaker. And that should bleed over into our regular markets. Now, switch right over to this time. I'm going to look at the futures market since it's early Monday morning. I want to take a look at the futures market. We want to take a look at the weekly and daily charts. Show you guys what's happening right now beneath the surface and what's happening in the near term. So let's take a look at the S&P minis first. Let's take a look at a daily chart first from S&P minis. And as you can see, 3 down days in a row is happening right now as we speak. And you're starting to see some weakness within the overall markets. So the S&P is starting to show some weakness. Under the surface, here is the full stochastics showing that we're possibly about to cross with a sell signal. Look at the wins percentage. It's starting to tip out of the overbought territory. And the CCI is trending downward too, like it's about to see a crossover. So all signs still point to downward pressure on overall markets by looking at the S&P minis. Let's switch to a weekly chart real quick. So you can see weekly chart shows we're still hovering around a point of resistance. We're still hovering up that level, but all the indicators are pointing to weakness. Look at the TTM squeeze. Still show these dark blue bars getting shorter and shorter and shorter. Full stochastics still hovering around that overbought territory. And I do expect for that to start to trend lower even on a weekly chart. Let's switch over to Dow Jones futures. Again, weekly chart of the Dow Jones. This one has been declining for probably a couple weeks now. See, it hit its high of about a little over 40,000 back around April, and we have not reached that point. reached that 40,300 level. Since that point, we got back above 40,000 right around here, but could not get back up to that high. And since then, we've just been trending downward. Right now, we are hovering around 38, a little bit over 38,000, almost 39,000, and still continue to trend lower. Look at TTM squeeze, definitely shows weakness. Full stochastics shows weakness. Wins percentage shows weakness. CCI is still showing a downward trend. So overall, Dow Jones futures still showing weakness. On the weekly chart, take a quick look at the daily chart, and you can see weakness here in the near term. Still trending below major moving averages, below price action right now is below the 50-day moving average and below its 20-day moving average. And I do think we could even tip down towards that 200-day in the near future. That's a possibility. So weakness in the TTM squeeze, weakness in full stochastics. Wins percentage starting to oscillate, starting to tip lower again. And full stochastic, I'm sorry, CCI like is could be soon possibly approaching another sell signal. Let's look at the Dow Jones futures. I'm sorry, let's look at the Dow Jones futures. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ futures. I think NVIDIA is one that's been holding up the NASDAQ, but I think it is getting weaker by the day. So if we take a look at this daily chart, a couple red days in a row with TTM squeeze starting to still look weaker. Stochastic is just about to cross with a sell signal. Wins percentage trending lower, and it's about to come out of the overbought territory, and CCI like it's about to cross with a sell signal. So all signs point to continued weakness in the major averages as we approach the beginning of another week, with possibly some more data that could affect the markets coming up on this week. Weekly chart definitely starting to show some signs of weakness. Hovering around those highs, but look at the TTM squeeze, definitely starting to show signs of weakness. Full stochastics has not turned down yet, but I think we're going to see that. This is a weekly chart. See that pretty soon. And the other indicators also should start to show some weakness soon. So I do think that the NASDAQ is probably going to start to give up its gains as well. Take a look at the Russell 2000 futures. This is the laggard of the bunch, and it is definitely show signs of continued weakness. This is a weekly chart of the of the Russell. And as you can see, we topped out right around the 2100 level and has failed to get back to that level, just continuing to show lower highs and a downward trend. And I expect that to continue. Look at the full stochastics. Try to go up, but then turn right back down, starting to show selling pressure, signs of a sell signal. And the full stochastics and signs of sell signal in the CCI. So, folks, this week is probably going to be another weak outing for our overall markets. So tread carefully and see how long this downtrend continues. One more thing we'll take a look at before we close this session is the VIX. Look at the VIX futures. And just the opposite of our overall markets, VIX futures, if you look at it is probably just getting started. We'll jump right to the CCI like it's about to cross with a buy signal. So I expect the weekly futures are probably going to start to turn up on the VIX weekly chart. And if we jump over to a daily chart, starting to show some strength in the VIX. Look at the oscillators in the Williams percentage. Got a sharp move up, starting to turn up in the daily chart. Full stochastic is about ready to cross back up with the sell, with a buy signal. CCI looks like it's ready to cross up, starting to turn up. And the price action, it's found some support right at that 20-pip moving average, like it's ready to turn higher. So this could be a big week for the VIX and a down week for the overall market. So that's something to pay close attention to. All right, folks, that's all I have for you guys for this weekend. Hopefully, it's something that you guys can use. Till the next video, Tim Davis signing off. Enjoy your trading week.